All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Tech Talk with Dan Harley, episode number 70. Did the Russians hack the DNC again? Recorded on December 19, 2016. And, it's been a little bit since I've done a podcast or vlogcast here. And just Christmas time, ironically, I got a lot of new clients this time of year. So I've just been overwhelmed with that. So I greatly appreciate all you folks out there that they're listening, and a lot of them came from this podcast, this YouTube channel here. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for patronage and all that stuff. Also, I got a major new sponsor for the show, and I'm pretty excited about that. Kind of makes me bona fide, and I'm working on makes my little hobby a little bit more fun too. And I'm working on the details of how I'm able to promote them, and you'll hear from them very shortly here. A little recap, Tech Talk episode number 69, how to create, save, and use hundreds of highly encrypted passwords. If you're still using pieces of paper to save your passwords, if you're using like one password for everything, and if you're doing any online transactions at all, you really need to look at listening to that episode number 69, and learn about RoboForm. All right. So before we go into today's topic, let me cover a couple things here. First of all, I want to thank you guys for listening and watching. Very much appreciate it. This is why I keep producing these episodes and want to get a new sponsor. So if you're listening in iTunes or your favorite Android podcast directory, please do me a favor, rate my show, submit a review. And I really appreciate all that, because that helps me grow my show, get more people to listen and watch all that stuff. If you're on YouTube, speaking of watching, and be sure you subscribe to my channel, leave some comments, some questions, some kudos, and all that stuff too. And if you need to find me, you can go to the website primeconstants.net. The links to the podcast show, the show notes, also some free tutorials on business-related topics, and my free tutorial. My favorite one is free and almost free ways to advertise your business online. Either way, please pass the word. Share this episode to others about the podcast show and the YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much. Also, a little legal disclaimer. Products mentioned in this and other episodes of Tech Talk with Dan Harley could be paid by an affiliate commission, promotional commission, or the liking by the products or service provider. So be aware, I'm not going to sell anything into this show here, but be aware that I could be selling something to you. So anyway, thanks for listening, watching, and now let's get to the fun part. Today's topic, did the Russians hack the DNC again? All right, this has come up again, and I really wanted to get away from lecturing stuff, but I got a lot of people asking me about this. A lot of water's been gone under the bridge on this already. But still, there's a lot of, frankly, I got many my associates that are staunch Hillary Clinton supporters and spout hard. This is so-called hard evidence that's coming around, and it's just rather not true. So it's rather they should know better. They should refuse to accept the facts, or rather the lack of facts. So we're going to cover that and break that down a bit more on a technical level here. And so hopefully just put this to bed and keep moving here. So how does all this kind of start here, this hacking of the DNC? Well, from my perspective, doing a little bit of research and stuff like that, there's a little hackerette called Guccifer 2.0. And he or she claimed to have hacked the DNC, and it has a blog site that kind of basically supports their claim that they did, in fact, hack the DNC. They got some hard evidence from some emails and stuff like that, so they did, in fact, get in. And also, adding this here, the U.S. intelligence agencies generally support this claim, as well as some independent security companies called, namely CrowdStrike. We're going to get that in a lot of detail here to back up this claim. Now, he or she claims they're not Russian. He or she claims they're Romanian. And but they use Russian proxy servers. They basically equipment in Russia they relay through to hack into wherever we need to hack into. And so they basically use to cover their tracks. So, they're not the only hacks. WikiLeaks sources are not Guccifer 2.0, and they proved it by having a lot more information than Guccifer 2.0 in their leaks. And it can also, Assange says there's leaks and not hacked. There's a lot more content from WikiLeaks that's not related to not Guccifer 2.0, and certainly not from the Russians. So there's the controversy there. Now, this company called CrowdStrike seems to be in the limelight. They're the people that kind of leak to the media. That's the Russians. It's the Russians. And so they have an issue here. Here's what CrowdStrike is. They're a major cybersecurity company in Irvine, California, not relatively close to where I'm at. They're so they claim a reputable company. Their cyber forensics leads to what happened to the DNC leads to servers in Russia. Okay, and they're claiming there's similar patterns of hacks similar to what Russians do. So, and they also claim they told the Obama administration days before the election that this was going on, and the Obama administration balked at announcing it, claiming it was be too political to announce it just days before the election. And so they backed out, which got the one of the CEOs, the CTOs of cybersecurity all up in arms. And adding to all this, Nancy Pelosi, our California's favorite representative here, she was warning congressmen across the board to keep their phones away from their grandchildren because their grandchildren might have been hacked. And all part of all this here. So that kind of stirred the pot, for lack of better terms, and caused a lot of uproar in the Congress, uproar in the cybersecurity world, uproar in the Obama administration, uproar in the DNC, obviously. So there is lots of information. I guess you could say valid information to make it newsworthy. Here we are. So anyway, here's the challenge here with CrowdStrike, and they're famous for another hack that happened a couple years ago. If you recall, Sony got hacked, had a major hack where gigabytes and gigabytes of their data got put out in the public. This happened back in November 2014, about 2 years ago, and how CrowdStrike got involved is they had their forensics go through that hack, and they found malware that is similar to how North Koreans hack systems. And they also have a lot of forensics claiming that the North Koreans did it. And I'm not sure if you folks recall, you can Google all this information back then, but a lot of people pointing at North Koreans, and it actually was CrowdStrike. So the problem was several problems with that particular, and how this relates to today is a similar issue here too. Okay, first of all, for that particular hack, there's no other credible cybersecurity company that would support crowdsource's claims. Okay, and CrowdStrike never had any hard proof that the North Koreans did it. And personally, I found it almost impossible to be a top-notch hacker from a country with fewer IP addresses or internet access than a small town in the United States. So it is very hard to swallow that being true. Also, the way the information of that particular Sony hack came, there's evidence found that the origination could have actually come from several countries. All right, but for somehow, some way, CrowdStrike claimed it came from the North Koreans. But in fact, the hacker used several proxies and could relate it from many places from the original sources. So we really don't know. Okay, so it came down to it's all plausible. It's all plausible that North Koreans could have done it. It's all plausible that they could be the instigator, but nothing really was confirmed. Now, this is the same similar pattern was we getting with the DNC leak. CrowdStrike came out with, well, we have evidence leading to a what's called a proxy server in Russia. If you don't know what a proxy server is, basically it's a way to cover your tracks online. Okay, and so you can enter in one way and enter out at a different way. Basically, you can cover your IP address and basically cover who you are online. So there is evidence leading to the DNC leak coming from, or the hack, for lack of better terms, coming from Russia, which would validate Guccifer 2.0's some of their claims as that they use a Russian proxy server for this. They also claim that some of the hacks, some of the tricks that were used were consistent with Russian hackers. Well, that's plausible but not confirmed. If you're a good hacker, if you really want to cover your tracks, you act like you look like a different hacker. So, okay, that's plausible. So it came down that there's no real hard evidence there either. Okay, lots of claimed it could happen. It could have been the Russians, but nothing says it was them. And so that's where the big thing about this is CrowdStrike is really good at getting media attention, obviously, because they got their attention on an issue 2 years ago with the Sony hack. Okay, so if you want to follow the money on this thing here, it would be prudent for a company such as CrowdStrike, which has multi-mega million-dollar contracts out there, that they want to get to be the publicity as being on top of all this right away. So now I'm just this is you can call this opinion or a fact, but the fact is there's money involved in this. Okay, so they got the media's attention, and so we got plausible evidence for a plausible culprit, not definitive. For a plausible culprit, not definitive, with no hard evidence on this. So that's where we're at. All right. So the question is, did the Russians hack the DNC emails? Well, sure. And so did anyone, any mediocre hacking skills could have done that too. In fact, Guccifer 2.0 admitted that too. He's not that good of a hacker. It was just an easy target. Okay. The Clinton and that here's something else here too. I mentioned in a previous podcast or YouTube channel thing here. The Clinton and the DNC IT people really incompetent, completely incompetent, and it's their own fault for getting their things screwed up. So if the DNC or if the Clinton administration wants to blame the Russians for swaying the election, they first have to look in the mirror. Okay. Really got hacked or not, there's no doubt that they screwed over the Sanders supporters. They screwed over their own people. They screwed over their own constituents. So blame all they want, but they have to turn somehow, someday they're going to turn back around and accept fault for themselves. Okay, one day will the DNC suck it up and accept fault for themselves? Well, probably not, but that's kind of where it's at. So anyway, hopefully that's going to be it. I hope I provide some extra information here. I did just want to regurgitate talking points. I did a little bit of research. Part of the reason why it took a little bit longer to kick this email out is to make sure I confirm all my sources. So that's where we're at with this. And I'm hoping, by the way, it's going to be Christmas here pretty soon. So happy holidays, all you folks out there. If you don't hear from me between now and then, you're probably going to hear a few more episodes from me as I'm wrapping things up for the year and starting kind of with some new objectives and a new sponsor for next year. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, pop it on YouTube. Let me know. Go to our show notes on the podcast. Facebook, all that stuff. Let me know and I'll respond to it. But in the meantime, you folks, God bless you out there. Happy holidays and good luck, Godspeed to your all-in success. We'll talk to you later.